Hello and welcome to the Vintage Unicorn Beauty Makeup and etc. I don't know if I paused too long because I didn't realize I didn't hit play, but this was actually a fan request where a wonderful one of my fans named Danielle commented that she would like to see me do a kind of different take of my southwest sunrise and do almost like a ocean sunrise. So I started thinking of the ocean sunrise that I knew best, and it was the sunrise when you are on the rim of the world in Lake Arrowhead and you can see Catalina Island almost like hovering in midair. So this was the inspiration, and this is my Catalina sunrise eye. It's a little bit of a messy look, but not as messy as usual. I did use Kat Von D's anti-precision liner just to smoke it up a little bit, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Please remember to hop on the arc and subscribe. Hit that button down there, down there, down there, down anywhere. However you subscribe, I would love to have you on the arc with us. We do crazy fun makeup stuff and giveaways and talk about stuff. So if you would like to see more, this is a very long video. I did not cut anything out. I wanted you guys to see the trial and tribulation into this look. So I will see you in the video. This is a heavily pigmented, heavily blended look. So I have 4 Sugar Pill singles. I have a Sugar Pill palette. I have my Vice Art Editorial Brights palette, and I also may dig into the Take Me Back to Brazil because I have been trying to just get this right for like 3 days. So, you know, I've been trying all kinds of different ways to get this to work. Basically, I don't want to lay any powder on the eye. I want a light layer of primer just to absorb the warmer colors that are going to go slightly above the crease. And that was my first lesson, was that I have to rebuild a new crease. So, all right, we have a nice blended base. I might even do a little under here because that was instrumental in the look. So yeah, orange, blue. And the best way I found to do this was with just using some Morphe blending brushes and packing the color in there. So I'm gonna start with the Sugar Pill Butter Cupcake. It is a very pigmented yellow, but I don't want too much of the pigment. I just want to place that new crease. And I'm just going to continue working that in until the color starts to pop a little. Alright, so it's just going to be, I say alright every time I come back in. Okay, so, and I say so. Anyway, I probably say that too much too. So I'm moving into the Suburbia color, and I just want to start transitioning them so that my sunset starts to peek through. But I want to stay kind of high, because there's going to need to be some in between the two exact opposite colors. So I'm just going to very lightly feather that on top of the yellow and then gradually start adding warmth. So that's fairly simple, and that's actually a really beautiful look, the kind of matte eye with the orange, but that's not what we're going for. So I'm going to continue to blend and we'll see where this goes. So this was the cut crease shape that actually ended up working the best when I tried previously. And it's a little bit more of an intentional cut with a tear duct and full contouring on the sides. And that's because I can't just do a solid blue. It has to transition evenly. It has to transition flawlessly. Like, I will not settle for less, especially because this is a fan request. I am going to try and slay this. So what I'm going to do while the concealer sets, I used my NARS Creamy Matte in Chantilly, and I don't know if it's just me, it smells really great. I was actually reading an article today saying you're really not supposed to smell or inhale cosmetics, but it smells good. So that line that I created using little stickies, that's what I'm going to follow, and I'm going to dip into the Addicted to Pretty, which has this beautiful, like, really pigmented blue, matte blue, and I'm going to, sorry, I have to look in the mirror for this because it's so precise. I have to hug the lash line and start blending that. This video is going to be really long, but that's okay. Alright, and then just kind of frill it up along the lines of that kind of royal purple that I created. And I have tried this with and without wing liner. I think today I'm actually going to use a new product that I have, which is the Basket Case Liner. That stuff's incredible. It's beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. This is in the color, yes, Home Sweet Home. So it's a matte, very light blue. I'm gonna swatch it just for you to see. It's almost like a baby powder blue, and I want to pack it on there, but I don't want to disturb the concealer. So I'm going to I'm going to select a loose and synthetic brush and just start packing that blue, hugging the lash line and then blending it upwards. Because if it's too dire of a contrast between the blue and the orange, they are polar opposites, it will look just a little bit strange. Also, it will blur into oblivion. And because I kind of modeled this after the Catalina sunset that you can see from Lake Arrowhead, love Lake Arrowhead, I didn't want super brazen colors, but I wanted pigmentation. And I didn't want pastel colors, otherwise I totally would have done this in the Pastel Goth. So I'm just gonna continue filling that in and adding that really light blue. And especially paying attention to kind of buff it and follow it along down the bottom. If I come in closely, it's actually very beautiful, but as you know, most of these makeup looks, they come together at the very end. So I am proud of my artistry in this, I will say that. So then I'm just going to start very gently filling it in. If it comes into contact with the brown, if it comes into contact with the sunset scape I have above, it will turn brown, and that is what I don't want. I want to keep everything as pristine and as clean as I possibly can. Will I likely need to re-amp the sunset? Yes. And to do that, I use the Suburbia because it'll tone it down, but it'll still keep that warmth. So now that that lovely kind of baby blue is hugging the lower part of my eye, this is the scary part. Now, I have tried it with the Vice Art, but I found that the blue I used on my lower lash line works the best. And I want to use the tightest brush that I have. So this is the Morphe E36, and I am just getting it very slowly. And actually, I think I'll start with the outer V. Almost like I'm going pixel by pixel, I want to fill this in. This little shape that I've created. And this does take time. And impatience is what's going to ruin this look. That's what I discovered when I was trying to wear it for work. So I am going to continue building in that outer V. The concealer acts as a natural guard. So not that it's a very strong guard. I could easily go over it if I became a little too zealous. Right now I just want to focus on darkening that outer corner, and it is making its own wing, which is really cool. It's just an interesting kind of take on the idea. So right now I'm just focusing on darkening up the lower lash line. And that Home Sweet Home has kind of assimilated into the concealer, which looks really pretty. And that's going to be the kind of basis for the look. There's going to be a lot more on the lower lash line. So now what I want to do is I want to take a slightly more precise corner brush or anything that has a nice point to it, going into that Home Sweet Home and slowly but surely packing in that color and blending. So I'm going to actually do this in the mirror, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of buffing and pulling that darker blue into the inner corner. And I want it to go from dark to light on the inner corner. This I added a little bit more of the dark blue. I wanted to just test it, and if I need to adjust, I will, but I think it will work quite well still. Now the issue the part that I'm scared of is the exact line where the concealer ends. That is where I'm going to very, very carefully attempt to add a little line of either a red or a purple. And I found it works best with a reddish purple, so that's what I am going to do. And then I want to pack that blue in the inner corner. I love this shadow, this Home Sweet Home. It's such a unique color. And it really is a great gradient for using really bright blues. Excuse me. This actually reminds me a lot of a look that I did a couple weeks ago where I did contrasting colors on the upper and lower lash lines. That was child's play compared to this. And I hope I'm bringing you guys what you would want, what you would expect. So it's gonna be just going over it, and right now I'm just laying down the framework. The framework, like marble. So what I'm gonna do again with that really tight, dense brush is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna mix that purple with that royal blue, and I get that great kind of royal purple, and I'm just going to very, very gently fill just below. And this is a process of blending, so I would not go ahead and say jump on adding more color. The second you add more color is the second that you're like, I added too much color, which I may have just done. So it's much better to go slowly but surely and blend, which is what I'm going to do. So now, like I said, there is going to be a good amount of filling in and adding extra colors. So I'm doing the same thing, mixing the purple with the blue and amping up that lower lash line even more, all the way up into that wing, just to border it. Keep in mind, I am not a makeup artist. I am a makeup enthusiast. So I love trying new looks. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna be great at them every time, but I'm actually very pleased with how this turned out, or how it's turning out. I feel like there was some kind of divine intervention. So what I wanna do now is take any kind of angled brush, any kind of foundation brush, I'm sorry, not foundation, eyeliner brush, anything like that. So I'm going for this Morphe, this is actually a brow brush that I use, it's a G21, and I'm going to coat both sides of it in that blue from the Addicted to Pretty and sharpen that up. And then very gently fill in any areas of blank space. After that, it's going to be just a massive amount of blending and reapplying color. So, but that's the basic idea that I found for it, the way that I found for it to work the best. And I am going to clean this up. I want this to be a very sharp look. It's a look for a viewer, and I feel like I owe that to you to make it flawless. So grabbing my 506 into the Suburbia, this will cool it down and kind of fade out any of the browning that kind of happened in the interim. As you see, where the blue touched the orange, even though I think I kept it pretty minimum, there is a little bit of a brown, but that's all right. It kind of, at this point, blends into the look. So I want to go back in again with the Butter Cupcake and fill in the upper area all the way up to the brow bone. And really just pull that color up, because this needs to be in its lane and the blue needs to stay in its lane. Ooh. So the shaping is a little strange, but that's okay. So I'm just going to continue blending that, and it's not exactly the same on both sides, which I kind of like. It is a sunset. It's not gonna look the same on both sides. So this is now, I dipped it in my little brush transfer, so it's clean at this point, but I wanna just see if I can't move some of the pigment. Yeah. Until you've set pigment, it's very movable. Now, it just takes a very gentle hand to move it sometimes, or it takes a lot of, I guess, oyster to move it. So, yeah. Now, for the center of the eye, I do want that to be a little bit different. And the best color that I found to do that was in the Vice Art palette. And instead of using the very tight brush that I've been using, because I am going to go back to it, I'm going to use my beloved 321 Morphe brush and dip into any kind of cooler blue. And just fill it in up to that and almost buff that into the dark blue. So that the dark blue is there, but it's like a halo. Yeah, it's a halo thing going on. Now I see why they call it that. Because I've got this little halo of light blue in the middle, heading out into a dark blue, and I'm gonna blend that. And then without adding any more of that color, even though I'm very tempted to because I want it to be stark, I'm gonna go in with the Home Sweet Home. Now those are fairly well blended. I will clean up in a moment. I want to bring my attention again back down to the lower lash line and continue smoking that out. There is no more product on this brush. So now we're going to switch to the Kat Von D. This might be my new favorite eyeliner ever. At first I was like, what, it's just a jumbo crayon. It's not. This thing is cool. Like, there's so many things you can do with it. So what I'm gonna do, because I love using it with a brush, is I'm going to take the G21 again and kind of roll it out just a little bit so that there is a smudged eyeliner look going on. And I'm just gonna really coat that brush. And it's an anti-precision eyeliner, which I love. I just wanna work that in to the lashes. And whatever I do on one side, I wanna copy before I continue doing any more. And the anti-precision liner look with this works very well because overall it's a lot of color, there's a lot going on, there needs to be something to cut it and break it up. Ooh, the blue is eating up that liner. I need to really coat it. And I'm going to shadow that blue that I've built with an anti-precision wing. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So the liner is on the eyes. It is sloppy, it is a mess, it is beautiful. And it's just gonna be about blending that crayon color, the basket case, or whatever eyeliner you want to use if you want to do a more precise wing. I just am loving this product right now. Just building it in. And then I'm going to go in and clean up with a concealer just a little bit, but I want my eyes to be definitely blacked out. Just around the edges. And blending that into the purple. So that there is a smokiness to this look on top of all those pigments. I have a lot of lights on, so there is a lot of flaw showing, but you know what? That's where the beauty is. So, let's clean this up. Concealer, lights, camera, lashes. I'm using a Clinique concealer on the edge of this. I saw this sponge and thought it was just so cute and like I could really use it. And then I got it home and realized it was for like self-tanning. But you know what? It's a sponge. I have a Virgin Beauty blender and I'm just not willing to open it yet. So I'm gonna do almost a baking kind of thing under this eye to really illuminate it. But I didn't want to do it in the locket because that is a very light shade and also it dries down really quickly. By far one of my favorite concealers. But you don't have any time to mess around. That concealer is not playing around. It is there to cover and cover fully. So I'm just gonna pack that on there and kind of leave it like that. Also, I'm gonna bring a little down my nose, do a little bit of counter contouring, I guess. And then just pack that and actually pat it into any areas that I'm having other problems. This is pretty much a full face tutorial. I think I'm at like 20 minutes. That's okay. That is okay. Because I just realized one of the times that I tried this, so I might ruin the whole look. I really might. But it was so pretty that it was worth it. Now I have that blue to orange and it's fabulous. But I have this pink. I have this pink and I need to use it. So I'm going to take just, oh wow, there's no such thing as a little bit of this pink. So I'm just gonna brush off a little bit of the excess and that's still what it looks like after brushing off the excess. And warm up that area where they meet. So it's gonna turn purple and that is the Catalina sunrise look. And I'm just going to blend it into everything. I'm actually picking up right off of where I dusted it. Picking up a teeny bit more. That's a lot. I am not going to edit this video short because this was an intricate look and I don't want you guys to miss any of it. So you guys can let me know what I could have done better or what you enjoyed or whatever it is. But I'm just kind of amazed that I was ever able to get this look off the ground. So a little more blending needs to happen. I'm not going to wear false lashes. I am on a false lash kick right now, or I was on a false lash kick. Now I'm on a false lash literal kick where I'm kicking the habit because it was damaging my lashes. This would probably look gorgeous with some false lashes, but I'm trying to kind of salvage mine from oblivion. So I'm gonna just use a slow but steady building formula. This is the same one I've been using. I don't think it's a real name brand. It's just a fiber adding mascara. So kind of like a toothbrushy motion, but not too much because these fibers will pick up. And actually I did this look with the Kush mascara this morning and I really liked it. Now I don't know if you can see, but there's almost like an iridescent halo from where I blended, and it's really pretty. It's not super precise, so I will go in and sharpen it up and all that, which will probably add another 5 minutes, but oh God, oh no, it's gummed up. This mascara doesn't play, it really doesn't, so getting a little bit more for the other side. And this is a mascara that you just can't apply like a regular mascara. You have to I've been blinking onto it, and that's my best way to tell you how to do it. You want to coat the roots and everything, but it's really going to be at the tips where the magic happens. Too much at the bottom will lead to like some excessive spider lash action. But actually with this look, the clumpiness is kind of cool. I'm kind of digging it. Love the mascara faces. Love the mascara faces. Okay. So again, I said I was going to tighten this up, and I'm not going to edit anything out, so it's going to be a long video. What I'm going to tighten up with the same brush that I've been using, the very tight brush. Instead of adding any more product, I'm just going to do very minuscule circular motions, sweeping up and down, back and forth, just to get that pigment exactly where I want it to be. Because it looks pretty in the mirror, but I can tell on camera it looks a little messy, and I don't want it to be super messy. I want it to be a little less messy than my average messy. And I am a messy kind of makeup girl. Also, I want to blend out that wing. I don't want it to be super intense. I just want it to be there. And just bring it down to where that mascara starts. So if I can show you guys what I've done, there's a little bit of a pinky purple, almost meeting both shades. So it's turning into a dark blue where it meets the light blue, and it's turning into a orange where it meets the, look at that look. Nailed it. A little bit, maybe. I also want to say I didn't look up any, I tried to keep these organic to me and my scope and range of creativity, so that's what I did. Yeah. Whether or not that was a great idea, I don't know. I feel better knowing that it's something I did organically and that it was my thought and my kind of trial and error that brought it about. So right now I'm just using the Rihanna matchstick. And I added a little bit too much on this side. SOML, story of my life, but I'm not mad at it. It's fixable, and it's 6 minutes on this screen alone. That's all right. A little bit of contouring around that concealer that I added, and then I am going to do blush for this look. So I'm going to use a matte blush, hopefully, maybe. Do I have my matte blush? I'm gonna use an iridescent blush for this look because I don't know where my matte blush went. So I'm going to use my Tried But True by The Balm Hot Mama, and I'm just gonna dust it along here. This is a glam day. I'm feeling glamorous. Yay, glamorous. Hey, that actually works. If you smile and do that, it works. I don't know, maybe not. And I'm not gonna use highlighter for this look because I've already kind of set the stage with the concealer to be very matte. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the Wowder. Please don't fall. About to have a cataclysmic thing happen right here. Cats. So I'm gonna take the powder and just dust it over my face using any kind of loose brush. If you're really into the like solidly baking, you could definitely use a sponge, any translucent powder, any setting powder, anything you want to use. I chose against translucent powder. This has just kind of become my go-to. It adds just the slightest bit of warmth to my skin because I have a very cool kind of pinky undertone anyway. All right, now lip color, I mean, it's really up to you. At this point, we've used like every color in the book. So I will leave that to your decision, what lip you think would go best with this. I happen to have Kat Von D's Underage Red right here, so I'm gonna apply that and then it's gonna be a wrap. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this fan suggestion video, and I really hope I did it justice. It was, thank you for giving me something really challenging. Took me longer than I'd like to admit to get it to this point. A nude would probably look really good with this too. But since I'm going all out, I'm going all out. And there I have my Catalina Sunrise. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please remember to subscribe. I am still running my giveaway. The Kat Von D palette has not yet been claimed. We are inching closer to it. And then also the next giveaway is Jeffree Star. And yeah, that's just awesome. Thank you guys so much for being so supportive, for your comments, for suggesting awesome makeup looks like this, and I will see you next time. Mwah.